evening and welcome. I'm Selena Mead with the Vsb TV 11 Evening News on this Monday, June the 16th. In our top story tonight, an email alert that has been sent by U.S. Consul Robert Secchi to U.S. citizens living here and overseas, warning them about the potential dangers of the hurricane season to Bermuda, has disappointed Bermuda Tourism Authority Chairman David Dodwell. Citing the absence of any material about the solid infrastructure of our island buildings or the existence of a train emergency network, Mr. Dodwell said that the lack of balance was regrettable.
The challenge today with hurricanes, unlike 20 years ago, is that the message is out there much earlier. Technology, cable, weather stations, and people are much more in tune because they're having attention called to it with what's going on. So in the old days, you didn't hear about a hurricane until it was a couple of days away, and typically that news didn't spread to our visitor shores, northeast seaboard and Canada. And so any attention paid to a hurricane, unfortunately, Brian lumps us in with the Caribbean. And pictures of hurricane damage down there that are very different than what happened to Bermuda. I mean, 3 direct hits in my lifetime, yes, some near misses, but the impact on a Bermuda, which is much better built, much better organized, you mentioned the EMO organization, we really handle a hurricane well. And as a result, you know, other than a Fabian, when you have a one-off situation there, I think over the years we've done well with this. So I think my concern is when you call attention to this, yes, absolutely fine. I totally respect the U.S. Consul General's requirement to post this up to a website. And then so if anybody's looking, and what's the impact? How does Bermuda handle it? Who do I speak to? You know, particularly as a U.S. citizen, no problem with any of that. I think to call attention to it and then say to people there's a possibility or communicate or write to them, that's the challenge I have, because they often don't hear the other side of it, which is what I just said. That we do a great job with this, and we handle storms well, very little damage, and very low frequency. So it's a challenge. I respect the responsibility and the authority, but we're trying to promote a destination. We're trying to bring people here, and the word hurricane, coupled with pictures of what happens in the Caribbean, can tend to scare somebody away.
Cancellation time.
Cancellation time. I think the word I would use is urge caution and look for balance and fairness, and I think that's all that we can ask.
Earlier this year, a similar alert from Mr. Secchi on the existence of sewage on the South Shore attracted the same kind of criticism from the BTA's Chief Executive Officer, Bill Hanbury. In other news, there has been a glitch in the monthly online direct deposit of government pensions into the HSBC Bermuda accounts of seniors, as a result of which they will now not be available until tomorrow afternoon, that being Tuesday, June the 17th. The Department of Social Insurance, apologizing for the problem, said today that an internal delay from its automatic pensioner file upload to the bank was the cause. This was an unfortunate first for the department, said a spokesperson, because normally if the usual pay date of the 15th of the month occurred on a weekend or a public holiday, the accounts were credited to the preceding banking day. In this case, it'd be Friday, June the 13th. Unfortunately, this reversal failed to occur. Those pensioners receiving physical checks will not have been affected. The annual military parade in honor of the birthday of Her Majesty the Queen took place this morning, actually Saturday morning, on Front Street, and was witnessed by a large number of residents and visitors despite the heat. We have selected some of the highlights of the display of pomp and ceremony, which featured the Bermuda Regiment and uniformed ranks of the police, fire services, and musicians from the regiment and the pipe band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next to arrive, the Premier of Bermuda, Mr. McIntyre. The banding corps drums are duly regiment under the guidance of the Director, Major White Robinson.
There was rather one unfortunate moment during Saturday's Front Street Parade, and that was when a man began to misbehave in front of the crowd of spectators and assembled troops during the playing of the national anthem. There was a brief scuffle, and he and an attending police officer left the scene, as our news clip will now show. Still ahead, we have Valentina with the weather preview.
Thank you, Selena. Fair to find conditions for the week ahead. And taking a look at the satellite, currently clear conditions. Stay tuned for more details later in the newscast.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
We live in a beautiful environment. One way to help keep it that way is to always remember your reusable grocery bag. If you forgot, you can still do your part in saving our planet by buying a Marketplace green bag for only $1.19. Not only are they good for groceries, but they're handy for many other uses. Always have your bags inside of you or put your grocery list in one so that you don't forget your reusable bags. You and the Marketplace are helping to save the environment by choosing to reuse.
Laugh. Learn. Love. Life on Logic TV is that much better. Logic TV bundles include Internet plus access, high-definition TV, and home phone, starting at $179 with a free install. LOL. Enjoy life on Logic TV.
Help build a lasting legacy with the Bermuda Hospital's Charitable Trust. Support our hospital by purchasing a 4x8-inch brick for the Legacy Walkway. Your engraved brick will be predominantly featured outside the new acute care wing. You can customize your brick with a personal message, a tribute, names of family members, or even a special thank you. Call 295-2428 or visit bhct.bm to make arrangements for your legacy brick today.
Welcome back to Vsb TV 11. It's been 50 years since the Bermuda Triangle was first introduced to the public, and 11 years from the beginning of the Bermuda National Gallery's biennial, which opened this weekend. This year's theme, A View from the Edge, includes 2 exhibits in the gallery, East St. George's. John Gardner and Antoine Hunt interpret their submissions, The Triangle and Islet.
So you see an abstract representation of triangle, of water, and then what we have done, as apart from an inert sculpture, is collaborated with Tiffany Painter, spoken word artist, and Anna Clifford, who is a dancer, and the 3 of us have come together with what we feel very comfortable is a seamless piece, which allows the viewer to access the whole idea of the Bermuda Triangle, and they have the means to bring their own interpretations to it, either visually, or through dance, or reading or listening to the poem that Tiffany says. And the last thing that's fun is that there's a sheet of water, and when you walk around it, it vibrates, and that reflects in the image, or you can blow on it and touch on it. So it's actually an interactive piece of sculpture, and we believe that would be really quite stimulating and exciting for people.
I've produced a short film. It's shot entirely by moonlight and using stop motion and different techniques that you wouldn't normally associate with a film. And what it's talking about is just what the theme of the biennial is, and the experience that we all have, whether you're aware and able to articulate that or not, of living on a small island and being isolated.
There are no daily markets to report of tonight because of the National Heroes Day holiday. People and Places is next after the break.
Price Right on Mill Reach offers you warehouse shopping for bulk and value price groceries, frozen foods and health and beauty items, home furnishings, dinnerware and carpets for your bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen, bikes, toys, and activity sets for kids, teens and tweens, electronics and home and audio-visual accessories. Visit Price Right. Always something new and always something for everyone. Open 9 to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 1 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you frustrated and confused by complex online banking systems? The quickest, easiest way to pay bills is with Easy Pay.
They're very good. They're excellent. I'd recommend them all the time. Easy Pay is the easy way.
The whole reason I joined Easy Pay is because of what the name stands for. It's very easy to pay.
I've been using Easy Pay for over 10 years. It really is an easy product to use.
Bill payment doesn't get any easier than Easy Pay. Email Dal at easypay.bm or visit easypay.bm.
Do you know your rights as a consumer? Visit the Consumer Affairs website to find out how to hire a contractor, how to buy and maintain your vehicle, information on buying second-hand goods, tips for seniors and teens, personal finance tips, product recall information, to file a complaint with Consumer Affairs. For the latest consumer news and much more, visit ca.gov.bm.
I just downloaded the Layer app for the Bermuda Sun, and it is so cool. You can find so many new videos, and you can watch sports and news and pictures and everything. You have to download it. It's really neat. All you have to do is put your phone over the image, and the image comes to life. You have a full video of everything. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, I just downloaded the Layer, and it works pretty good. I think it's good.
I've never seen anything like it. It was unbelievable.
Yes, I tried the app this morning, and I think it's great.
Hi, I'm Peter Javetic, host of Season to Taste. Tune in on Tuesday night during the Vsb TV 11 News. I'll be here with Chef Bubba Tan, who's preparing this beautiful dish of pansir branzino with grilled vegetables and an orange vinaigrette, and find out what the Gosling's wine of the week is.
Tuesday during the Vsb TV 11 News.
Now we have People and Places with Charles Webb.
People and Places with Charles Webb is brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
I'm here at Symbiosis on No. 1 Watlington Lane, which is the home of Thomas and Rhonda Smith Simmons. The unique thing about this home was that Edwin Skinner, a Bermudian, used it to teach young boys. Replete with a vibrant art collection and nestled in a half-acre of landscape grounds, Symbiosis in 1944 was the Howard Academy, where Edwin Skinner, a white Bermudian, educated young black boys, the likes of former Premier Sir John Swan, Cabinet Secretary Kenneth Richardson, educator and sports executive Donald Dick Dane, and union leader Archibald Simmons, just to name a few.
Mr. Skinner apparently used the living room, the dining room, and his front porch as overflow for his school.
This must be one of the longest porches I've seen on a house that's not that big.
It's interesting that I'm not sure whether the original builders designed it that way to think it was going to be eventually a schoolroom, but I also understand that this area was also used for teaching as well. I would imagine you had two classes because of the size of the porch compared to the size of the internal rooms, and perhaps in the summertime when it was warm, you went outside. When it rained, you came inside.
Now, this house has such a history. Do you keep any memorabilia of it?
I have nothing. It's really something which has only come to my knowledge in the last few years. And I've received nothing, but quite frankly, as time goes by, if I find anything with regard to the history of the house, I'd like to keep it if I can find it.
Now, when you bought this house, there was no evidence that it was once a school, was it?
None whatsoever. It looked like a derelict old cottage.
The dining room was also a classroom.
Yeah. By today's standards, this is a very, very small dining room, but this was the original dining room for the house, and it was also used as an additional, an extension for his classes. I'm not sure how he separated his classes, but this was another one of the rooms that he used. From what I understand, the great-grandmother of one of the Dills lived here, because this is one of the first concrete block houses in Bermuda. So this is a concrete block house, it's not Bermuda stone. And evidence of it, I can show you the evidence of it here on the walls on the outside. But I understand it is part of the Dill estate at one time.
Now, the name Symbiosis, how did you come up with that name, and does it have any relationship to the old Howard Academy?
No relationship to the old Howard Academy, but symbiosis is when two organisms work together. They're stronger than themselves by themselves. And it was a name which I thought of, my wife and I thought of when we first saw the house. We thought if we worked together, we're certainly a lot stronger organism than if we work separately on an individual basis.
So without knowing it, you actually carried on something that was connected with the school?
I would think so, without knowing it.
When you come into your home, do you ever think of the people of today who are actually educated here? Does that ever come to mind?
I'm a very, very strong proponent of education. It doesn't matter where it comes from. And what makes it really, really interesting is to think that from such a humble location, you can have people of prominence, certainly here in Bermuda, who've come out of this type of environment. Not necessarily from an Ivy League school, but from a simple little home.
And I guess it follows that a man of prominence like yourself lives in this home.
Oh, very much so. This is certainly my home and my castle and my entertainment area. If you're actually looking at the whole room itself, this is now the renovated living room in its entirety. But this marking here actually separates the original living room from the original master bedroom.
The home of Howard Academy was to educate young men, but now it's an art-filled residence enjoyed by its present owners. With Thomas Simmons, the owner of Symbiosis, for People and Places, I'm Charles Webb, Vsb News.
People and Places with Charles Webb has been brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Now at Big Savings Zone, there's the Kids Zone. See the latest bedroom ideas for tots to teens. There's a large selection of beds, bedding, all kind of furniture designed especially in mind for your child. And see the array of accessories for all ages. Big Savings Zone is the home of Ashley Furniture and Serta Mattresses in Bermuda. And the Kids Zone is only at Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at sports tonight with Earl Basin.
Flora Duffy continued her incredible unbeaten run during the Exterior Off-Road Triathlon Series as she again destroyed the field in the Exterior America Tour East Coast Championships. Duffy's winning margin was nearly some 10 minutes as she crossed the line in a time of 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 36 seconds. The second female finisher to cross the line was Emma Gerard, clocking 2:44.23. Meanwhile, Tyler Butterfield finished 8th in the ITU World Triathlon Cup in Mexico, clocking a time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 26 seconds. Stephen Dickinson and his crew, Garrick Farquharson from Bahamas, sailed to victory in the West End Sailboat Club's Edward Cross long-distance race earlier today. The pair had to come from behind after coming out of the Town Cut Channel in second place behind Heath Fogo and his crew, Kyra Fogo. But Dickinson took control of the race off of Buildings Bay and then sailed away from the rest of the fleet. Dickinson, sailing out of the East End Mini Yacht Club, clocked a time of 2 hours and 4 minutes, while Scott Fox and his crew, Wesley Tucker, finished in second in a time of 2 hours and 6 minutes. Fogo made it an East End Mini Yacht Club 1, 2, and 3 finish as he finished third in a time of 2 hours and 13 minutes. St. David's Cricket Club kept up their winning ways during Premier Division cricket action over the weekend. At Lord's, they took on Willowcotts. Willowcotts batted first and were bowled all out for 92. Sharoy Fubler was the top scorer with 23, while Rudal Pitcher was the pick of the St. David's Cricket Club bowlers with 10 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 27, while George O'Brien took 3 for 28 off of 10 overs that included 1 maiden. In reply, St. David scored 93 for 4 with Ray Crockle the top scorer on 31. Kevin Fubler had figures of 4 overs, 2 for 23 for Willowcotts. In other Premier Division action, Somerset Cricket Club defeated St. George's Cricket Club by 68 runs. Scores: Somerset Cricket Club 232 all out and St. George's Cricket Club 164 all out. Southampton Rangers won by 4 wickets on run rate over Cleveland County. Cleveland County were bowled all out for 171, and with Rangers in reply, they needed 137 off of 40 overs after rain halted play. Rangers scored 141 for 6. In First Division play, Fast Victoria won by 9 wickets over Warwick Workmen's Club. Warwick Workmen's were all out for 159 and Flat scored 160 for 1. PHC won by 17 runs over Devonshire Recreation Club. PHC were bowled all out for 90 and then both Devonshire Recreation Club all out for 73. Donna Urquhart from Australia, the number 25th ranked women's squash player in the world, defeated the 29th squash player of the world in the women's field, Elsing Blake from Ireland, in straight sets 12-10, 12-10, 11-2 at the Access Squash Challenge, and Women's Pro Invitational came to an end at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club on Saturday evening. Barnes Corner won the Access Squash Challenge after defeating Courthouse 5-3. The Bermuda National Athletics Association held the National Track and Field Championships at the National Sports Center. Kyra Stratus won the Under-20 Women's 400-meter dash, clocking a time of 56.23, with Christine Steed finishing in second in a time of 1:02.63. Aaron Jacobs won the boys 14 and under 800-meter race, clocking a time of 2:08.32. Jalon Hassel finished second in a time of 2:24.81. Gavin Manders picked up 2 more titles on the final day of the Deloitte Open Tennis Tournament that concluded at the Pomanda Gates. Manders won the men's A singles final, defeating Jensen Bascom in a 3-set battle, 6-4, 5-7, 6-love. Kayla Cross defeated Jacqueline Lambert in the ladies' A singles final in straight sets 6-4, 7-5. Manders and Bascom then teamed up to win the men's A doubles final. The Bermuda Bicycle Association held the Madison Digicel Long Track Time Trial, where Madison rider Dominic Mayo won the male open race, clocking a time of 46.32. Winner's Edge rider Mark Hathaway finished in second in a time of 49.20, and his teammate Anthony Bartley finished in third in a time of 49.38. Winner's Edge rider Zonique Williams won the female open division with a time of 54.26. Sarah Burnett from Madison Digicel finished in second in a time of 1:03.46, and Zoe Roberts from Fast Forward Bicycle Works finished third in a time of 1:04.52. I'm Earl Baston reporting for VSB Sports.
That should do it.
enjoy your new shower.
Experience the bold look of Kohler at a Kohler registered showroom.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the VSB TV 11 Weather Report brought to you by the Bermuda Weather Service. I'm Valentina Holland. And taking a look at our weather shot sent in today by Tamara Broadley. This was taken this morning out at St. George's. You can see some of the sailboats of the Comet race going on this morning. Beautiful shot, Tamara. Thanks so much for sending that in. Temperatures for today, the high was 79 degrees at 1 this afternoon and 74 at 4 in the morning. Current conditions, 77 degrees. Humidity is 75%. Winds out of the north-northwest, 8 knots. And the barometric pressure is rising slowly at 30.12 inches. The rainfall index for June, so far 0.75 inches. Total for the month, 24.82. Normally we would have seen 24.07 inches thus far. And taking a look at our satellite, high pressure builds in from the west with decreasing clouds, light winds, and dry conditions. Dry conditions and increased sunshine continue for most of the week. For the gateway cities, Atlanta partly cloudy, 90 degrees. Boston mostly cloudy, 79. Charlotte partly cloudy, 91 degrees. 73 in London, sunny. 89 in Miami, mostly sunny. 87 in New York, partly cloudy. 91 degrees in Orlando, partly cloudy. Philadelphia, mostly cloudy, 90. Toronto, partly cloudy, 77. And Washington, partly cloudy at 92 degrees. And back at home tonight, low near 67 degrees and partly cloudy. Winds out of the north at 5 knots. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high near 79. Winds out of the north at 5 knots, variable at times, and by evening, north-northeasterly. And Mariners report for tomorrow, no warnings are in effect. Seas are calm at 0 to 1 feet. Outside the reef are 2 to 4 feet, and the sea surface temperature is 79 degrees. Mariners report for tomorrow, no warnings are in effect. Seas inside the reef are 0 to 1 feet, and outside are 2 to 3 feet. Low tide is at 6:50 a.m., high tide at 12:46 p.m. And for your 5-day forecast, on Wednesday, mostly sunny, high near 81. Thursday, mostly sunny, high near 83. Friday, mix of sun and cloud, high near 84. And Saturday, mostly cloudy with a few showers with high of 79. And thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you to Jeremy Entwistle, our meteorologist at the Bermuda Weather Service. Have a great evening.
Trusting that you had a wonderful long weekend, we at VSB TV 11 would like to thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us. Good night, Bermuda.
Wardrobe and makeup for Valentina Holland, provided by Gibbons Company.
VSB TV 11, Bermuda.